It says the morning of the 12th of November. A 48-minute and 46-second clip put up by Wajahat Ali. Title: Expose Trump and Melania's hidden Epstein ties. Michael Wolff just revealed. I'll play about 15 minutes of it. You'll have it to watch in its entirety.
Where is this evidence? Where is this material? Who controls this material? Right now, the Epstein files is kind of a metaphor, because clearly this material does not exist in a file cabinet and is easily accessible.
Everyone, I was looking longingly into Michael Wolff's soul, waiting for the internets to connect us. We are back. When I had Michael on about 2 weeks ago, there was news that Michael was actually not going to sit quietly while Donald Trump, and specifically Melania Trump, threatened to keep him quiet for alleging that Donald and Melania met, thanks to, in part, Jeffrey Epstein, that they allegedly had sex for the first time on the Lolita Express, which is the name of Jeffrey Epstein's private plane. Go look up Lolita. It's disgusting, makes you vomit in your mouth. And they don't want people bringing up the fact that it isn't just Donald Trump who was, according to Jeffrey Epstein, his closest friend, but Melania is up in this world. And Michael announced that he was going to countersue and not sit down quietly. And since then, Michael, tell us what's happened.
Okay, well, let me make a distinction. I did not countersue. I sued them before they could sue me. So I don't know what that's called, but that's called, they didn't see that coming. So that's what happened. Then the other really interesting thing is this past week, actually not even a week ago tomorrow, having actually just gotten the first lawyer's bill and thought, oh my God, my wife said, well, why don't we try to do a GoFundMe page? Every little bit helps, so why don't we try? In 24 hours, we raised $500,000. We are now up to more than $700,000. This is, we have enough money we have a war chest, enough money to go to war with these people. And in fact, right now, this week, my lawyers are working on, and I'm obviously working with them on coming up with a witness list, all of the people who might be able to tell the story of the Trumps and Jeffrey Epstein at that period in time.
Trump isn't happy that he's second at the bat with Melania. I'm sure other people have screwed her other than just Epstein, though.
And just to get the timeline, it was October 15th. There was a missive by Melania Trump threatening you with a $1 billion lawsuit over what she says was, quote, false, defamatory, disparaging, and misleading statements that you allegedly made during a Daily Beast podcast. And then you countered by filing an anti-SLAPP defamation suit against Trump, which is a strategic lawsuit against public participation. And this is what Donald Trump does. He has a history of essentially threatening lawsuits, and because he has a war chest, people backed out. But now your war chest is at $700,000. How much money do you need, Michael, in total?
Well, I don't know. It's impossible to tell that, and it's impossible to guess what the byways of this kind of lawsuit will be. I mean, one of the what they might perhaps do off the bat is to countersue me in Florida, then it would become a jurisdictional issue. But which is so that creates another kind of turn in the road, and potentially a costly turn in the road. However, at the same time, it's also an interesting opportunity because that means they open themselves to discovery about where Melania Trump actually lives, and it would be, I think, a little tip of the hat to history to point out and to demonstrably show that the First Lady of the United States does not live with the President of the United States.
Well, where does she live? That's a very good question. I think we have normalized the absurdities of Donald Trump to so much that we just allow to gloss over the fact that this alleged Christian warrior, this avatar for I can't even say it, Michael. This knight of white Christian evangelicals, the flawed instrument, their words, not mine. The modern day Cyrus, the Persian pagan king, who nonetheless might be flawed and sinful, but God is using him for a purpose. The champion of family values, his beloved wife does not live with him, does not stay with him. She might be somewhere else.
The Trump people in the Trump circle have described to me that when she shows up, she's treated like a guest. And lest we not forget that he just obliterated the East Wing, which is the traditional space for the First Lady. But I think in answer to your question, I think it is. We believe that she lives the overwhelmingly amount of her time in Trump Tower.
And as Donald Trump is destroying has destroyed the East Wing, and is in the process of destroying democracy, and is in the process of destroying our economy, and tells us to lie. Lies to our faces and says, "No, everything is fine. You're not paying more for meat. You're not paying more for groceries. There's no line at food banks." He is doing his level best, along with Republicans, Michael, to cover up the Epstein files. I want to remind everyone that Adelita Grijalva, who is a Democrat from Arizona, won her election about 6 weeks ago, Michael, and she would be the pivotal 218th vote in the House to release the Epstein files, which is something, a rare issue that unites actually most Americans. I mean, pretty much that's the only bipartisan.
He's wrong on what he just said. Her vote would cause a vote to be taken, and that vote would determine. Her vote's not the one that's going to release the files. That's where this guy's wrong, but just a minor point.
It's an issue for independents, Republicans, MAGA, and liberals that they want the Epstein files released. What have you heard from Republicans about what's in the Epstein files? Because this past week there have been some. I want to know what you've heard now. Then I'll follow it up.
Well, I think the interesting thing is nobody really knows what's in the Epstein files. Nobody really knows where the Epstein files are or what comprises the Epstein files. And let's remember that this story or this evidence or this material spreads over many branches of government and also includes the Epstein estate, which holds a variety of pieces of this story. So, and I think that's a curious thing, and part of any investigation and any ongoing discussion should be about where is this evidence? Where is this material?
What's interesting too is I read that 2.3 terabytes of Epstein files have been obliterated. I wonder if the Epstein estate has those photographs of Trump with underage topless girls on his lap and shot spots on his pants. Huh? I'll attach the link. You can listen to the rest of this clip and let me know what you think. Pass it along, and thanks for listening.